A topic of conversation this morning was about giving things away. In a larger scale of faith, giving your possessions away to be distributed appropriately in the community. But we drew it back into the company of giving away the knowledge and insights to people so they can uh, they can grow within the company and make more thoughtful decisions about how they participate and maybe even help the company to scale. And it reminded me of the struggle to bring financial planning and analysis into a company. The one analogy that they kind of drew me into the experience and maybe helped me explain it a little bit better to some of the people who were struggling is, especially those not familiar with FP&A, was growing up on my uncle's farm. He It wasn't a big farm, but he taught me a couple of things. The first thing was what it really means to work from home, which is working from dusk until dawn. So I never really had any aspirations of the work from home and that fierce independence thing. But with regard to fierce independence, which sometimes happens in a company by intention or perhaps by some omission of not showing people the way. You may have heard the expression, whether it was you or someone you know, who said, "An analyst is an analyst is an analyst," and sometimes that sort of that broad same knowledge is what actually holds the company back, in addition to holding people back. And whether it's a work from home thing because it's just an analyst, who cares, right? You're just kind of organizing stuff and getting things done, but you're not really plugged into understanding what it means and the impact of your work and how it helps the company to grow, and also how you can actually feel like a stakeholder. So the way I learned it on the farm was in terms of thriving together on the farm. People were participating in the planting, um, whether it was planting those seeds or doing those daily chores in the morning, and then it was providing, and that was the patience and the perseverance to allow things to grow throughout the season, whether it was the animals in the barn or the plants in the field, and then it was harvesting when the appropriate time was whether for the plants or the animals to harvest, and the other part was providing. Um, or harvesting, I should say. Harvesting was that fourth part. I said that, but I want to get back to the providing part, because the providing is that kind of shared experience. And when I think about the expression, "an analyst is an analyst is an analyst," that reminded me of a fun expression my uncle would say whenever he needed help. He would say, "I need a strong back and a weak mind." And then if we were lifting something, he'd say, "Okay, you ready to lift? It'll be you and me, mostly you." And so when it comes to the harvesting part at the end, though, that's where you can also bring it together, because it's that learning experience. And whether it's you have the analysis and the budgeting and forecasting, or you're trying to learn how to put those pieces together, what we do when we focus on that, providing the learning experiences, as we're kind of putting the nurturing environment for things to grow and people to thrive and learn as we grow together. It's also the harvesting part is where you kind of share in the outcomes of it, and it's kind of like gathering at the table for a meal to share together, and and enjoying the harvest of all the food that you've grown there on the farm. So it's maybe a more thoughtful way and a personable way to think about what the financial planning and analysis means. Even if you don't have an executive team, obviously that's what it's intended for, is to help them with actionable insights, but informing the executive team, so it's not just a bunch of analysts or people behaving like analysts, just kind of independently, whether it's work from home or just with that fierce independence because of the nature of the work, just kind of doing their thing. It's really bringing it together and treating it like the family on the farm. Don't just be a strong back and a weak mind, and don't allow other people to do that. It increases a lot of value in the whole community as the farm, and it really does help to bring people together and treat this thing like a family, but not like living in your parents' basement. Actually, like a family where, we all have a job to do in this house, and we're gonna make this house stronger and better than ever, and we're gonna learn together. And when we harvest, we're not going to be afraid to celebrate. And along the way, we're going to provide those learning experiences, kind of like you do on the farm when you learn how to drive the tractor, or you learn how to back up that wagon, and you realize you got to turn the wheels the opposite way. Those little nuances are great learning experiences. And as we provide for what we're growing and with our clients, we grow those learning experiences as well, and share the wisdom along the way. So when we harvest, we can celebrate what we've learned in addition to what we've grown together. So a couple of takeaways from Uncle Joe on the farm and financial planning and analysis for companies to grow and thrive and act a lot bigger than they are. Talk to you soon.